we will learn wiggle, which is the equivalent of wiggle in After Effects. And we create random movements and animations with wiggle. Unlike keyframes, we can easily and quickly create shaky videos with the threat of Yalgin. In our previous tutorials, we made difficult animations much faster by using expressions. Expression area is the code writing area in After Effects. Using this area, we make difficult animations much easier. Wiggle expressions will be one of these expressions. When using wiggle, we will use some numbers. These numbers will return to us as animations. Every object in After Effects can be a solid layer. It can be text, it can be an icon or an image. You can apply the wiggle effect to all of these. Thus, the wiggle effect allows you to create an animation with little wiggles, little vibrations. If at some point you have a static video that was taken with a tripod, you can use the wiggle effect to make it look like it was taken with a handheld camera. Now let's waste no time and learn how to use this wiggle effect in After Effects. Wiggle is an expression that contains wiggle as a format and frequency and amplitude values in parentheses. When you type wiggle, we need to write a frequency value and an amplitude value in parentheses. The value on the left side tells us how many times the object will move in 1 second, and the value on the right side tells us how many pixels it will move. Therefore, these two become one and create an animation for us. Now let's see how this wiggle expression is used in After Effects. In After Effects, I drew a solid on the scene and put the solid in a round mask. My intention is to make this mask move in this way. Let's see how to place the wiggle expression. In our previous tutorials, I showed how to apply the expression. We will do this with similar logic and apply it to the position. I click on the arrow on the left side of the solid layer and find the position value under transform. Now I click once on the icon on the left side of this value by pressing the Alt key on the keyboard. When I click, the expression field will open like this. I can write codes here. Let's write the value we just learned. First of all, I write wiggle, and in parentheses I give 3 as an example of how many times it will move in a second. I'm adding commas and how much area it will move. Let's call it 50, and I close the parentheses. When I click on any area, I confirm this code. When I click and press play, I press the space key on the keyboard. As you can see, it makes 3 different movements per second and moves around 50 pixels. Now let's see what kind of changes we can make by editing this code. For example, I'm writing 1 instead of 3 and 100 instead of 50. So we will see bigger movements because the values in between widened. I play it again. I change the value of 100 to 300. As you can see, the area has gotten wider. In order to make it appear more shaky, I increase the value of how many times it will move per second. For example, if I write 5, it will move much faster, and I'm trying it in a smaller area. This is the result. Now, if we activate motion blur in such movements, we can get much more realistic and beautiful results. In this way, we can move away from the digital look. What do we do to activate the motion blur? First of all, I click on this icon to activate the motion blur in the scene. Then I specifically mark the icon motion blur so that the motion blur effect appears on that layer. I play it again, and as you can see, it looks more realistic and dynamic. Let's speed it up a little bit more. Let's make it 10. This way, we can create small wiggles on objects using this wiggle expression. So when we think more broadly, where do we use this wiggle expression? Where can we use it? For example, we can use it to shake a video taken with a tripod or to shake a photograph. Let's do one more example about this. Let's turn off the properties of this solid layer, and I'm going to put an image on top of it. And this is the image. Let's do a little adjustment about sizing. I come to the position of the image. We can directly access the position by pressing the letter P from the keyboard. Again, I press the Alt key and click on the icon here. This expression panel opens. Let's rewrite the code we just learned. Now, pay attention to the scene. This is actually a single photo, and when I play it back, it looks like it was taken with a camera. If it is too much, of course you can lower this. If you want to have a narrower movement, you can call it 10, or you can lower this value a little bit more. We can give an example such as the use of the wiggle expression, but it is possible to develop this expression further. By default, this wiggle covers the X and Y axis. However, we can also apply this wiggle effect only on the X or only on the Y axis. And we can even activate the 3D feature of this project in After Effects so that this movement can be seen only on the Z axis. To complete the motion on the x-axis, y-axis or z-axis, we need to write some more advanced code here. You can find these codes on my website. I will put the link in the description section below. You can look from there and paste the codes here to apply those effects. I will make an example right away. For example, I want the wiggle effect of this effect to appear in front of X only in the X direction. Let me turn off the image, because I will edit this code. I paste this code to position expression. As you can see, it moved only on one axis. As I said, you can find other codes on the website. Now it is possible to make this wiggle effect work before and after a certain second or stop before and after a certain second. You will also find these codes on the same website. There is no need to try each code here for a long time and take your time. If you paste the codes from the site directly here, the codes will work directly if you paste them in the section. You don't need to do any editing. The only thing you will do, the editing, will be to determine the second. This is the wiggle expression. You can reflect this expression to any object in After Effects. If you want, this can also be text. If you try the same features, the same expressions on a text, it will still work successfully. That's all for this video. If today's video was useful to you, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. Thank you for watching.